The university has always had a drug testing policy in place, but a spokesman says this new random testing takes it to a whole new level. I'm told by neighbors that this area was completely flooded last night, and that was the story around Eugene, and it definitely kept public works crews on their toes today trying to clean up after the storm. He says he was walking to a friend's house when he was beaten and robbed by a man he doesn't know. It actually smelled like someone was barbecuing out here, and if you look just over my shoulder towards the south, you can barely make out Spencer Butte's. Drug Enforcement Administration agents raided the farm that supplies over 100 patients with medical marijuana.
Nelson, to kind of fill us in on what else is here. Your sleeping bag already set up.
Got it set up right over there by those folks. I'm good to go. And actually, people are already starting to camp out here. It's been a really exciting day on campus. Lane County Sheriff's deputies have been out here all evening and into the morning hours investigating that blaze. As you can see behind me, there is crime scene tape now up around the house. No, your eyes aren't deceiving you. Gas prices are dropping dramatically around Oregon, down 13 cents in the past week, and it's making a lot of drivers really happy. This is where he was arrested yesterday afternoon by Eugene police. Now, some neighbors say he seemed like a nice enough guy, but they're not necessarily surprised that he was arrested. Of the 19-year-old Joshua Howland doesn't remember how he got his black eye.
If I did, I couldn't tell you because I don't remember it at all.
The last thing he remembers is walking his girlfriend home before heading to a friend's house last Monday, September 17th.
The phone rang and I saw, caller ID, and he said, "Mom, I just woke up. I think I've been beaten."
Albany police say 22-year-old Chancellor Wise allegedly jumped out of the bushes, robbed Howland, and then beat him, leaving him bleeding on the sidewalk. Howland says he doesn't even remember calling his mother after the attack happened, but she rushed here to find him.
He had blood all dried across his face, and he had no idea what was going on.
Howland suffered a broken cheekbone and fractures around his right eye. His mother, Debbie Brackenier, says he spent the next 24 hours in the hospital.
The doctor at the Albany hospital had come out and said that if he'd have been unconscious any longer, it could have been fatal. And those were the hardest words to hear.
2 days later, Wise was arrested after police received an anonymous tip.
No, it doesn't really make sense why he, attacked me, someone he doesn't know.
Right now, I'm thankful he doesn't remember the attack, but that could come at any time.
This tight-knit Churchill apartment complex was rocked Thursday after resident 49-year-old Russell Crummett was arrested for allegedly sexually abusing girls as young as 6.
I hope they put this guy away for a very, very long time.
Wendy Rainbow says she knew Crummett well, her son often playing with his when they first moved to the neighborhood.
I had a feeling it was going to happen.
Why?
My son witnessed him in bed with a little girl.
Crummett was arrested by Eugene police after they say an investigation revealed he allegedly sexually abused 3 girls between the ages of 6 and 12 over a period of several months.
All the children knew him. And I've been here 4 years, and people come and people go, but they all seem to end up over at his place.
Crummett worked as a building manager for the University of Oregon's College of Education. He was placed on administrative leave Thursday by the school.
The University of Oregon does do background checks for people who are in this kind of a position. However, when this gentleman got hired, we had not operationalized those background checks, so there was not a check done on him.
At Churchill Village, Rainbow says Crummett always came across as a nice man.
You think, well, that's a dedicated single father. And it's hard to mix those two personalities, the man who was harming children and the man who seemed so dedicated to his own.
She says she only wished she could have done more.
And I never made any calls, and I feel like crap for it now. I really do.
You probably know what it can be like sitting in a boring lecture class.
The ring itself, the specific part inside of here, is called a porphyrin ring.
Constantly looking at the clock, maybe dozing off or doodling. It's a Tuesday morning, and these Oregon State freshmen are brushing up on their biochem.
I teach metabolism. So metabolism is the chemical reactions that go on inside of our cells.
Leading the class is senior instructor Kevin Ahern, and chances are you've never had a teacher quite like him.
The first of this is a song called Hemoglobin's Moving Around, and it's to the tune of Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
You see, Ahern doesn't just teach science, he sings about it too.
Oh, isn't it great what molecules do, especially ones that bind to O2. You know, every term I'd write a new song and so forth. And now I write quite a few, actually.
He calls them his metabolic melodies, and he's written over 120 of them.
So I got me a note card and bought me a strier, got the enzymes down and the names he requires. Hope I can muster up a little more desire. Thank God there's a video. I think what the songs do is that they give the students something to relax about. That it seems that biochemistry isn't such a serious, big, hairy subject.
And students can't get enough.
I mean, it's kind of nice. It brings a little humor to the class.
It helps ingrain things in your head because you can sing along and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Do you consider yourself an unconventional instructor?
I think so. I think most people would say that, yeah. Hang on.